Let's go on. We've got time just for one more question. It's from Zakia Yousaf, please. Zakia Yousaf.
Is the expulsion of a diplomat the most appropriate penalty for an act of terrorism?
This is the government expelling somebody from the Israeli embassy, supposedly a Mossad station chief, after it was alleged that 12 British passports were forged by Mossad in the murder or death or killing of a senior Hamas official. And the question is whether this is an appropriate penalty or whether they're in effect being allowed to get away scot-free. Julia Goldsworthy, what's your feeling about it?
Well, David Miliband, when he made his statement in Parliament early this week, said that there were compelling reasons for believing that Israel were responsible for these passport forgeries. And I think he was absolutely right to expel this diplomat. And what it brings hope to me is that this will be the beginning of a much more robust relationship where the UK government believe they can be a much more critical friend and raise issues like the blockade of Gaza and the settlements.
This had happened before, and the Israeli government had promised it would never happen again. That there had been expulsions before. It's not a very severe penalty, is it?
No, but I think if you look at it in the context of what's also been happening in terms of the discussions that Obama's been having with the Israeli Prime Minister, I think we are seeing the toughening of that relationship, and I think that's really, really positive. And I think, ultimately, we all want to see a situation where there's a lasting settlement and there's peace. And I think that's only going to happen if you can be open and kind of be very robust in your discussions.
You say on the right there.
You have a state here that is quite openly going around killing people, and throwing one person out of our country is just, it's not enough.
Martin Sorrell.
This is a terrorist state that's going around killing people quite openly.
Israel is a terrorist state going around killing people.
Well, I think there are similar situations with other states. In this particular case...
So you accept it for Israel, do you?
It's what I don't...
You said there are similar situations.
I say there are similar situations involving other states as well as Israel. I mean,
but do you accept the word terrorist state or not?
No, I don't accept that.
All right.
I said there are similar situations in relation to other countries conducting similar operations. In this particular case, it is a penalty that is appropriate, I think. Whether it should go further or not, I would ask what further things could you do constructively to try and... So, go ahead. Sorry?
What do we do with other terrorist states?
Well, no, I didn't say that it was a question of
You denied that they were a terrorist state, and they clearly are.
I said there were similar things done in other situations, so you have to apply the same standard elsewhere.
But you said they were not a terrorist state.
I must go around the table. Alex Salmond.
Well, it's not enough, because I saw today this described the action of expelling the Mossad operator as a diplomatic dance. One of the commentators said it was a diplomatic dance. It's the sort of thing you do as a gesture. Now, it's not enough, because friendly countries don't steal the passports of other countries' citizens and use that as part of an arrangement to assassinate their political enemies. And therefore, it has to be treated in the context of the seriousness of what the Foreign Secretary believes that Israel have been doing.
What would be better?
Well, what I'm going to suggest that presumably stealing people's passports and indeed the assassination, but stealing passports must be a criminal offence. Surely, if the Foreign Secretary has now identified to his satisfaction that Israel is responsible, then he should be thinking of legal action. Secondly, in terms of the relationship with the Israeli government, it should be more than expelling a diplomat. There should be an arrangement whereby, if that is the belief that the Foreign Secretary has, it should be published, and therefore the next step would be to say this has implications, for example, in trading relationships. You can't have normal relationships if you believe another country has been involved in what Israel has been involved in, according to the Foreign Secretary.
Okay.
But certainly, whatever measures you take, it cannot just be a diplomatic dance.
We have to be brief, because we're coming to the end. Liam Byrne, it cannot just be a diplomatic dance.
Well, it's important that we have a strong relationship with Israel. Israel is a partner of ours in some pretty difficult international situations, not least countering the nuclear threat in Iran. But strong relationships depend on trust. And where there is compelling evidence that British passports were used in this despicable crime, then I'm afraid that goes beyond simply having words in private. That demands public action, and that's why David Miliband demanded the action he did. And of course, people will see this in the context of what is happening in Israel at the moment, with permits being given to build settlements in East Jerusalem. And this is simply playing into the hands of those who deny that Israel is serious about a just and lasting two-state solution that provides justice for the people of Israel, but justice too for the people of the Palestinian Authority.
This is the question. Is this appropriate, what was done? Is it enough?
I think it is, because we thought that there needed to be a measure of public statement because of the nature of what had happened.
Okay. Saeed, I have to ask you to be very brief if you would.
I mean,
over time already.
If you actually look at the level of support that Israel have enjoyed in the past from Britain, then to actually expel a senior diplomat is actually quite a serious move that Britain have made. And actually, if you look at the reason why they have expelled them, it's not for what's happened in Dubai, it's actually for the forging of passports. And I think this incident has actually done Israel a lot of damage, not just in Britain, but around the world. And for me, I think what comes out of this is that the level of regret actually that the forged passports were used, because like you said in the audience, you should be able to trust your friends.
Thank you very much. We're over our time, I'm afraid. Apologies to those who have your hands up still.